The stars above Ridgemont Hills had never seemed brighter than on the night everything changed. In the cylindrical observatory that crowned their hilltop home, 16-year-old twins Thomas and Daniel Parker huddled over their prized telescope, a joint birthday gift from their astronomer parents. The autumn wind whistled through the dome's opening, carrying with it the scent of pine and possibility. "There it is again," Thomas whispered, his eye pressed against the eyepiece. "That weird light pattern near the Pleiades. It's like dancing." Daniel checked their observation log, his fingers tracing the neat columns of data they'd collected over the past week. "That's the third time this month. Dad's going to flip when he sees this at the symposium." But their excitement was cut short by a sound that didn't belong among the cricket chirps and rustling leaves, a high-pitched whine that made their teeth ache. The telescope's digital display flickered, and then went dark. "Power surge?" Daniel suggested, but Thomas was already moving toward the dome's opening, his face illuminated by an increasingly bright blue glow from outside. The light that had been merely a distant twinkle moments before now filled their entire field of view, descending rapidly toward their observatory. The twins barely had time to duck before something shot through the dome's opening, leaving a trail of ethereal flames in its wake. The object, smooth and opalescent, about the size of a basketball, embedded itself in the observatory's floor with surprising gentleness, as if lowered by invisible hands. The brothers approached cautiously, their scientific curiosity overwhelming their fear. "It's breathing," Daniel observed, noting the subtle rise and fall of the object's surface. As they drew closer, they could see that what they'd mistaken for a simple sphere was actually an egg, its shell translucent enough to reveal a shifting shadow within. Thomas reached out to touch it, ignoring his brother's warning hiss. The surface was warm but not hot, and seemed to pulse in response to his touch. "We should document this," he said, fumbling for his phone with his free hand. But before he could snap a picture, hairline cracks appeared across the egg's surface, accompanied by a sound like wind chimes in a storm. The twins stumbled backward as the shell split open, revealing something that challenged everything they thought they knew about the universe. The creature that emerged was barely larger than their cat, Galileo, but any resemblance to Earth's fauna ended there. Its body was covered in scales that seemed to capture and reflect starlight, creating miniature constellations across its surface. Wings that looked like they were crafted from Aurora Borealis unfurled slowly, and a long neck topped with an elegantly horned head rose to regard them with eyes that held galaxies within. "Is it a dragon?" Daniel breathed, unconsciously reaching for his brother's hand like he used to do when they were kids. The creature tilted its head and emitted a sound that reminded them of stellar wind recordings they'd studied, a haunting, musical tone that seemed to bypass their ears and resonate directly in their minds. To their astonishment, they understood its meaning: curiosity, hunger, and a profound sense of recognition. "It needs help," Thomas said with certainty, though he couldn't explain how he knew. The creature was trying to stand but wobbling, its wings dragging slightly. Daniel was already shrugging off his jacket. "We can't leave it here. Mom and Dad won't be back from the conference until tomorrow night." They carefully wrapped the creature in the jacket, marveling at how it seemed to weigh almost nothing despite its solid appearance. As they carried it down from the observatory to their house, neither twin noticed the new marks appearing on their palms, small, silvery spirals that matched the patterns in the creature's scales. In Thomas's bedroom, they created a nest from blankets and offered their unexpected guest various foods. The creature showed no interest in normal fare but became animated when Thomas absent-mindedly scattered some of the meteorite dust they'd collected for analysis. It consumed the cosmic particles eagerly, its scales glowing brighter with each mouthful. "We need to name it," Daniel said, watching the creature curl up contentedly in its makeshift nest. "How about Stella?" Thomas suggested, but the creature made a sound like tinkling crystals that clearly indicated disapproval. "Orion?" Another negative response. Finally, Daniel said, "Novi?" The creature's scales rippled with light, and a feeling of acceptance washed over them. As they settled in for the night, taking turns watching their extraordinary visitor. Neither brother suspected that Novi's arrival was just the beginning. They didn't notice the increasing number of stars gathering in the sky above their home, nor did they realize that across the galaxy, ancient powers were stirring, drawn to a force that had been hidden on Earth for millennia, a force that had just awakened in two unsuspecting human teenagers. The first sign that their lives had changed forever came at dawn. As the sun's first rays touched Novi's scales, the creature's form shifted, becoming more ethereal. And in that same moment, the twins' new marks began to glow, and they felt something impossible, the ability to sense every celestial body in the sky, as if the universe itself had opened up to their consciousness. This was how Thomas and Daniel Parker's ordinary lives transformed into something extraordinary, not just because they'd found an alien dragon, but because they'd been chosen to play a part in a cosmic story bigger than anything they could have imagined through their telescope's lens. The morning after Novi's arrival brought changes that no amount of scientific training could have prepared the Parker twins for. As they watched the sunrise from Thomas's bedroom window, their newly acquired cosmic awareness intensified. Stars that should have faded with daylight remained visible to them, pulsing with information they were only beginning to understand. "Look at Novi," Daniel whispered, gesturing to their celestial guest. The creature had grown noticeably overnight, now the size of a large dog. Its scales shifted between deep space black and stellar blue, and tendrils of cosmic energy occasionally sparked between its horns. Thomas rubbed the spiral mark on his palm, which now shimmered with an internal light. "I can feel what it's feeling. It's worried about something." Before Daniel could respond, their world exploded into chaos. A thunderous boom shook the house, and the morning sky turned violet. Through their enhanced senses, they felt rather than saw the arrival of massive ships entering Earth's atmosphere, their presence like dark holes in the fabric of space itself. Novi leaped to its feet, wings flaring with defensive energy. A telepathic warning flooded the twins' minds: hunters. Hide. The bedroom door burst open, revealing their parents, Jonathan and Helen Parker, their faces pale with shock. "Boys, you need to see," their father's words died as he spotted Novi. Instead of panicking, both parents' expressions shifted from fear to something like recognition. "It's happening again," their mother whispered, reaching for their father's hand. "Just like the prophecy said." "What prophecy?" Thomas demanded, but another explosion rocked the house before they could answer. Through the window, they watched as two distinct types of ships engaged in battle above their town. One group gleamed like polished obsidian, moving with predatory grace. The others shimmered with rainbow light, their designs more organic and flowing. Both sides seemed to be converging on their location. "There's no time," their father said, rushing to the bedroom wall. He pressed his palm against it, revealing a hidden panel that slid open to expose a chamber filled with strange technology. "Your mother and I, we're not just astronomers. We're part of an ancient order of human guardians, chosen to protect Earth's connection to the cosmic force." "The same force that flows through Novi," their mother added, pulling out what looked like armor made from crystallized starlight. "And now, through you both." The twins exchanged shocked glances as their parents efficiently helped them into the armor, which adjusted to fit them perfectly. The material felt alive, responding to their thoughts and movements. "The marks on your palms," their father explained while working, "they're signs of the astral bond. Novi isn't just any cosmic dragon, it's a nexus being, one of the rare creatures capable of channeling and stabilizing the universe's fundamental energies. The fact that it chose you both, this changes everything." A musical chime from Novi drew their attention. The dragon had grown again, now large enough to ride, its wings spanning the width of the room. Through their bond, they felt its urgent desire to escape. "The dark ships belong to the Void Collective," their mother said, strapping what looked like a small galaxy contained in crystal to each of their wrists. "They believe controlling Nexus beings will give them power over reality itself. The light ships are the Star Guard, sworn to protect the cosmic balance." Another blast, closer this time. The house trembled. But which side? Daniel began. Neither, their father cut in firmly. The prophecy speaks of a third path, led by those who can bridge the gap between cosmic power and human innovation. That's why Novi chose you. You need to run. We're not leaving you. Thomas protested. Their mother smiled sadly. You have to. We've prepared for this our whole lives. The observatory, it's not just for stargazing. It's a beacon for others like us, and right now, it's the only thing preventing both sides from simply taking what they want. As if to emphasize her point, a firefight erupted outside. Beams of darkness and light crisscrossed the sky, creating aurora-like distortions where they met. Their father pressed a small device into Daniel's hand, a crystal sphere containing what looked like a miniature spiral galaxy. This will guide you to others who can help. Trust your bond with Novi, trust each other, and most importantly, trust yourselves. Novi lowered its head, clearly indicating it was time to leave. With tears in their eyes, the twins hugged their parents one last time. We'll find you again, Thomas promised. We know you will, their mother said. Now go. Become who you were meant to be. Mounting Novi felt as natural as breathing. The cosmic dragon's scales adjusted to secure them comfortably, and its wings began to glow with interstellar energy. As they prepared to take flight, their parents activated something in the observatory. A pulse of pure light erupted from the telescope dome, temporarily blinding both the Void Collective and Star Guard ships. In that moment of chaos, Novi launched through Thomas's window, its wings cutting through reality itself. The twins held on tight as their dragon soared not just into the sky, but through a rift in spacetime, leaving behind their old lives and carrying them toward a destiny that would reshape the cosmos. The last thing they saw before the rift closed was their parents standing in the observatory dome, channeling energy through the telescope like a beacon of defiance against the forces converging on Earth. Then everything shifted, and the Parker twins found themselves flying through the star-studded depths of space itself, their journey only beginning. The space between stars was nothing like Thomas and Daniel had imagined during their years of astronomical study. Riding on Novi's back through the cosmos, they discovered that the void wasn't empty at all, it teemed with streams of energy, currents of light, and patterns that defied Earth's physics. How are we breathing? Daniel wondered aloud, his voice carrying perfectly through what should have been vacuum. The armor their parents had given them glowed softly, responding to their thoughts. Protection, Novi's thoughts echoed in their minds. The cosmic dragon had grown yet again during their flight, its wingspan now vast enough to bridge the distance between satellites. The starlight flows through you now. They'd been traveling for what felt like hours, following the pulsing light of the crystal sphere their father had given them. Each pulse drew them deeper into an unexplored arm of the galaxy, far from Earth's familiar constellations. Thomas touched his glowing palm to Novi's scales, connecting deeper with their bond. You knew our parents, didn't you? Before you found us? Images flooded their minds, a younger version of their parents standing among beings of pure light, participating in ancient ceremonies, learning to channel cosmic energy through human innovation. Their seemingly ordinary astronomical research had been a cover for something far more profound. A sudden disturbance in the stellar currents interrupted their connection. Novi's scales bristled with warning just before a massive shape emerged from behind a nearby nebula, a space station unlike anything human imagination had conceived. It looked like a collection of crystalline rings rotating around a core of contained starfire, each ring housing what appeared to be entire ecosystems. Sanctuary, Novi projected, banking toward the station. The last neutral ground in the cosmic war. As they approached, other riders became visible, beings mounted on various celestial creatures, some resembling Earth's mythological beasts, others completely alien. All of them seemed to be converging on the station. A voice echoed in their minds, different from Novi's, older, vast as the cosmos itself. The children of the observatory arrive at last. Enter, young Bridges. Your awakening has been long awaited. A gateway opened in one of the crystal rings, large enough for Novi to fly through. Inside, they found themselves in an enormous chamber where gravity seemed optional. Beings of various species floated or walked on different planes, all of them stopping to watch the twins' arrival. They landed on a platform that materialized beneath them, and for the first time since leaving Earth, dismounted. A figure approached, humanoid but composed of swirling constellations, its movements leaving trails of stardust. "I am Keeper Zenith," the being said, its voice resonating directly in their minds. "Welcome to the Celestial Concordat. We have much to discuss, and little time." "Our parents," Daniel started, but Zenith raised a hand formed of nebulous light. "Are alive and fighting bravely. The observatory defense systems they activated have created a temporal barrier around your home. But it won't last forever. Before it falls, you must understand what you've become part of." The chamber transformed around them, turning into a three-dimensional star map of the entire galaxy. At its center, a familiar spiral pattern glowed, the same one marked on their palms. "This is the cosmic helix," Zenith explained. "The fundamental pattern that connects all living things to the universe's energy. For millennia, different factions have sought to control it. The Void Collective believes it should be contained and directed. The Star Guard believes it should be regulated and preserved. But there is a third truth, hidden in plain sight." Novi moved closer, its scales resonating with the map's light. Through their bond, the twins felt a deep connection to everything being shown. "Humans," Zenith continued, "are unique in all the cosmos. Your species exists at a perfect midpoint between chaos and order, innovation and tradition, science and magic. The Nexus beings, like your Novi, have always been drawn to this balance. That's why your parents joined our cause. That's why you were chosen." "Chosen for what?" Thomas asked, though part of him already knew the answer. "To show the galaxy a new way." Zenith waved a hand, and the map zoomed in on Earth. "Your world sits at a convergence point of cosmic ley lines. What happens there will echo throughout the universe. The Void Collective and Star Guard are both wrong. The cosmic helix cannot be controlled or merely preserved. It must be understood, integrated, and evolved." A commotion at the chamber's entrance interrupted them. A being composed of shifting shadows materialized, its form barely contained. "They've breached the outer rings," it reported urgently. "Both fleets. They tracked the twins." Zenith's form flickered with concern. "Sooner than expected. Young Bridges, you must make a choice now. Stay and learn what you truly are, or flee to safer harbors." Thomas and Daniel exchanged glances, their spiral marks pulsing in sync. Through their bond with Novi, they felt the cosmic dragon's unwavering support for whatever they decided. "We're tired of running," Thomas said firmly. Daniel nodded. "Our parents are fighting for Earth. We need to understand how to fight for everything." Zenith's form brightened with approval. "Then let your first lesson begin. The cosmic helix responds to humanity's greatest strength, the power to adapt, to change, to transform possibility into reality." The twins felt their armor shift, becoming more integrated with their bodies. Novi's scales rippled with new energy, and the chamber around them began to reconfigure itself into what they realized was a training arena. "Show us," they said in unison, as the sounds of battle drew closer to the sanctuary's heart. The real test of their destiny was about to begin. The training arena of the Celestial Concordat transformed into a swirling vortex of cosmic energy as Thomas and Daniel faced their first real challenge. Keeper Zenith's form expanded, filling the space with constellations that moved like living things. "The power you possess isn't just about controlling cosmic energy," Zenith's voice resonated through their minds. "It's about understanding the fundamental truth of existence: everything is connected. Explosions rocked the sanctuary's outer rings. Through their enhanced senses, the twins could feel both Void Collective and Star Guard forces converging on their location. But instead of fear, they felt a strange calm. "Show them," Novi encouraged, the cosmic dragon scales shifting through patterns that matched the spiral marks on their palms. Thomas raised his hands, watching as streams of stellar energy began flowing between his fingers. Daniel did the same, and suddenly they understood, their power wasn't individual, but synchronized. The spiral marks weren't just symbols, they were two halves of a whole. "The cosmic helix has always been misunderstood," Zenith explained while the twins practiced weaving energy between them. "It's not a force to be controlled or preserved. It's a language, the universe's way of communicating with itself. Humans, with their capacity for both logic and imagination, can speak this language naturally. Your parents discovered this truth." A holographic image appeared, showing their mother and father working in the observatory years ago. They weren't just studying the stars, they were communicating with them, using their telescopes and instruments to translate cosmic messages. "The Void Collective believes humanity is too chaotic to be trusted with such power," Zenith continued. "The Star Guard thinks you're too young as a species. Neither understands that your perceived weaknesses are actually your greatest strengths." Another explosion, closer this time. The sanctuary's defenses were failing. Daniel turned to Zenith, his eyes glowing with stellar light. "You said we're bridges." "Between what?" "Between everything," Zenith replied. "Science and magic. Order and chaos. Past and future. The cosmic helix isn't just energy, it's the pattern of life itself, constantly growing, changing, evolving. Humanity's greatest gift is the ability to adapt, to take seemingly opposing forces and find harmony between them." The twins felt Novi's agreement through their bond. The cosmic dragon had been growing throughout their conversation, its form now large enough to fill half the chamber. But more than its size had changed, its scales now reflected not just starlight, but the very essence of spacetime itself. "Your parents weren't just guardians," Zenith revealed. "They were pioneers of a new understanding. The observatory on Earth isn't merely a defensive position, it's a prototype for a new kind of cosmic technology, one that could end the war by showing both sides a better way." Before they could process this revelation, alarms blared throughout the sanctuary. A being of pure shadow materialized beside Zenith. "Multiple breaches in all rings," it reported. "They're using synchronized temporal charges. We have minutes at most." Zenith's form flickered with urgency. "The choice is yours now. Will you run, or will you show them what humanity truly is?" Thomas and Daniel shared a look, their bond with Novi humming with potential. Through it, they could sense every ship surrounding the sanctuary, feel the intentions of both attacking forces. The Void Collective's ships pulsed with cold determination, while the Star Guards radiated righteous certainty. Both sides so convinced they were right, neither willing to consider another way. "What if we don't fight them?" Thomas suggested, an idea forming. Daniel caught his brother's thought through their connection. "What if we show them instead?" They mounted Novi, their armor synchronizing with the cosmic dragon scales. The spiral marks on their palms blazed with new purpose as they understood what they needed to do. "Your parents' research," Zenith said, understanding dawning in its stellar form. "You mean to complete it," they said in unison. "Here. Now. With everyone watching." Novi spread its wings, which now seemed to contain entire galaxies within them. The twins raised their hands, calling upon everything they'd learned about the cosmic helix. Around them, the sanctuary's crystal rings began to resonate with their energy. The observatory was never meant to be just a defense system, Thomas explained, cosmic energy flowing through him. It was meant to be a demonstration, Daniel finished, his own power intertwining with his brother's. As the opposing fleets breached the final ring, prepared for war, the Parker twins and their dragon prepared to show the cosmos something it had never seen before, the true power of human innovation combined with cosmic understanding. The sanctuary's heart was about to become the stage for either their greatest triumph or their most spectacular failure. Either way, the galaxy would never be the same. The heart of the celestial concordat erupted with light as Thomas and Daniel Parker initiated their desperate gambit. Novi's wings spread wide, creating a field of protective energy around them as both the Void Collective and Star Guard forces burst into the chamber, weapons primed. Through their enhanced senses, the twins could feel the tension crackling between the opposing armies, darkness rippling against light, order versus chaos, each side believing they alone understood the true nature of cosmic power. But thanks to their parents' research, the twins now knew better. "Stop!" Thomas's voice carried across the chamber, amplified by the cosmic helix flowing through him. "Look around you. Look at what your war has done to the galaxy." Daniel raised his hands, working in perfect sync with his brother. The spiral marks on their palms pulsed as they activated the sanctuary's crystal rings, transforming the entire structure into something their parents had only theorized, a cosmic resonance chamber. The space between armies filled with a three-dimensional map of the galaxy, but unlike any they'd seen before. This showed the damage caused by centuries of conflict, tears in spacetime, dying stars, wounded reality itself. The cosmic helix isn't meant to be controlled, Daniel projected his thoughts to all present. And it's not meant to be merely preserved. It's meant to evolve, Thomas continued. Just like life itself. Novi's scales began to shine with unprecedented brilliance, the cosmic dragon growing to its true form, a being of pure stellar energy that dwarfed everything in the chamber. Through their bond, the twins channeled its power not as a weapon, but as a lens, allowing everyone present to see what they saw. The truth revealed itself in waves of understanding. The Void Collective's desire for control and the Star Guard's instinct to preserve were both part of a larger pattern. Order and chaos, creation and destruction, all were necessary parts of the cosmic dance. Humanity's gift, the twins spoke in unison, their voices harmonizing with Novi's cosmic song, is the ability to imagine something new. To take opposing forces and find balance between them. They demonstrated, weaving together strands of void energy in stellar light, showing how the combination created something stronger than either force alone. The spiral patterns on their palms expanded, creating a field of energy that resonated with every being present. Through this connection, memories flowed, their parents working tirelessly in the observatory, developing technology that could communicate with the cosmos itself. The ancient order of human guardians, secretly preparing Earth for this moment. And most importantly, the reason Novi had chosen them, because humanity's greatest strength was its ability to adapt, to change, to dream of possibilities that had never existed before. "We offer a third path," Thomas declared, his consciousness expanded to encompass the entire sanctuary. "Not control," Daniel added, "not preservation. Evolution," they said together. Novi's power peaked, and suddenly everyone in the chamber could feel what the twins felt, the living pulse of the universe itself, the way all things were connected through the cosmic helix. They saw how fighting over this power was like fighting over who owned gravity or time, meaningless in the face of something so fundamental to existence. The twins began to glow with otherworldly light as they initiated the final stage of their parents' work. The sanctuary's crystal rings aligned perfectly, transforming the entire structure into a cosmic resonance engine. Energy flowed through the twins, through Novi, through every being present, showing them a glimpse of what could be, a future where technology and cosmic power worked in harmony, where different approaches strengthened rather than divided. The effect was immediate and profound. Weapons lowered as understanding dawned. The Void Collective's ships powered down their temporal charges. The Star Guard's forces dimmed their burning light. For the first time in centuries, both sides saw each other not as enemies, but as different expressions of the same cosmic truth. Keeper Zenith's form expanded with joy and wonder. The prophecy wasn't about choosing sides, it realized. It was about transcending them entirely. As the energy settled, a new peace treaty was formed, not through force or compromise, but through shared understanding. The Celestial Concordat would be transformed into something new, a center for cosmic collaboration, where human innovation could work alongside ancient powers to heal the wounds in spacetime and explore new possibilities. Thomas and Daniel's parents were brought to the sanctuary, their temporary defense of Earth no longer necessary. The family reunion was tearful but triumphant. Their years of secret work had helped pave the way for this moment. So what happens now? Thomas asked, standing with his brother beside their fully grown cosmic dragon. Their mother smiled. Now the real work begins. There's an entire universe out there, waiting to learn what humanity and its allies can achieve together. And we'll need teachers, their father added, looking proudly at his sons. Bridges between worlds. Novi's thoughts resonated through all present. The story of the cosmos is ever-changing. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter. As the Parker twins looked out at the assembled beings, former enemies now united in common purpose, they realized that their adventure wasn't ending. In many ways, it was just beginning. The stars beckoned, full of endless possibilities, waiting for humanity to help write the next chapter in the cosmic story. The universe, they had learned, wasn't just about light or darkness, order or chaos. It was about growth, change, and the courage to imagine something new. And thanks to two teenage twins from Earth, their cosmic dragon, and the power of human innovation, that something new was finally possible.